Shalom, brother Nakwam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach, woman like Yahushai, double honors to the elect elders of the house of David, that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Mashiach, woman like Yahushai. Shalom to the mighty men that are out there in the highways and byways. A hearty shalom to those men enduring the elements, going out there in season, out of season, risking their life to magnify the name of Yahweh by Shema Yahushai. Shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying. They're being diligent and abounded in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. And shalom to all of the aquath out there, the sincere sisters out there, holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being submissive and diligent, and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremother. Shalom, shalom. This is a quick cold cut, on the plantation, doing the work while we can, being instant, in season, out of season. I wanted to go into this topic. I wanted to go into it, earlier, but the spirit suffered me not. But the question still lies on the table is, how often do you do this, right? That's the topic of this live. How often do you do this, right? Let's go to the book of Psalms chapter 147, right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 147, and I want to start at verse 7, right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 147, and verse 7. Let me get this quick precept. I'm going to start at the top. Praise ye Yahweh, for it is good to sing praises unto our God, for it is pleasant and praise is comely. The Lord doeth build up Jerusalem. He gathered together the outcast of Israel. He healeth the broken in heart, and bindeth up their wounds. He telleth the number of the stars. He calleth them all by their names. Great is our Lord, and of great power. His understanding is infinite. Yahweh lifteth up the meek. He casteth the wicked down to the ground. Sing unto Yahweh by Shema Yahushai with thanksgiving. Sing praise upon the harp unto our God. Now the question is on the table is, how often do brothers, give thanks to Yahweh by Shema Yahushai, man? How often throughout the day do brothers thank the Most High for the minor things, for major things, for things that you may take for granted, for things that you think you deserve, for health, for strength, for wisdom, for counsel, discernment, being alive, being in this truth? You're commanded. This isn't optional. It's not optional to take the instruction given to you by Yahweh by Shema Yahushai, by our forefathers, our kings, and our prophets, man. As much as it's not optional to can you eat pork or not, or that's not optional, can you grow your beard or not? It's not optional, do you have to love your brother or not? Those things are mandatory. Those aren't the only mandatory things in the law. Another thing in the law is you're supposed to praise Yahweh by Shema Yahushai and give him thanks. Right? Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 12. A lot of brothers don't really give thanks to the Most High. And we went into this in time past. A lot of brothers, you just do things and you feel like you're owed these things from the Most High, man. Right? Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel. Like the brother said, and how you always say through the spirit, a lot of brothers, you look at the Most High like a genie, man. And that's that Christianity mindset, because in Christianity, that's how they portray the Most High. They use the Lord as a prosperity God, and he's only there to give you a job. And he's only there to help you get a raise, get that big promotion, or, you only ask the Most High for carnal things, man. Christianity uses the Heavenly Father like the genie from Aladdin. The Most High is not a genie, how we always say, man. And the great things that the Most High has done and will do and is doing, it has to be lauded and praised, man. And not just once a day. Like I always say, I knew this one person in the truth, man, and they said they only thank the Most High on the Shabbat. Right? They only pray on the Shabbat, only once a week. So they heap up iniquity like water, which we do anyway, but they do it the first six days of the week. And they believed and have convinced themselves that on the seventh day, that's the only time to praise the Most High. That's off. The Shabbat is not the only time to give thanks to the Most High. Right? Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 12 and 24. I'm not going to make this too long, right? But I'm going to bring this out real quick. This 1 Samuel chapter 12 and 24. Only fear the Lord and serve him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things he hath done for you. But if ye shall still do wickedly, ye shall be consumed, both ye and your king. And these were some of Samuel's words he charged Israel with, man. Right? These were some of the last words of Samuel's ministry. And Samuel said what in verse 24? Only fear the Lord, right? We don't fear man. We don't fear flesh. We don't fear beast. We don't fear these nations. They're just a creature. These men on the earth, they're just creatures. They're just things created by the Most High. I don't care how tall they are, how many weapons they have, what fear they try to drive in your heart. These things are just creatures. And just things created by the Creator, man, by the Most High. So we don't fear the creation, because we know that there's a power who gives these things life, man, which is the Most High. So we don't fear man. Reading on. And serve him in truth with all your heart. For consider how great things he hath done for you. And when you consider something, you have to take time to reflect. You have to think, brainstorm, meditate, if you could understand, and literally sit back and consider all of the great things the Most High has done for you, man. You know, the Most High allows you to go to and fro safely, keeping the angels around you. The Most High allows you to understand His truth, right? The Most High allows you to have a particular level of wisdom and understanding, whether you know small or great. Even the man who just came to this thing, 3 days ago, more than likely, he knows more than, 98 to 99% of the earth, man. So even the knowledge the Most High gave you, your health, your sanity. And there's a famous saying in the world, they always say, hey, it could be worse. It could be worse. Because a lot of brothers, you don't give thanks to the Most High. You're just too busy complaining all the damn time, man, about what you want and what you don't have and how this hurts and you wish you had this. And the Most High is not dealing with that spirit, man. Let's go to 2 Ezra, chapter 8 and 60. The Most High is not dealing with the unthankful and the discontent and the ungrateful, man. Those spirits are evil. Let's go to 2 Ezra. And the man that doesn't, the Most High likes to be praised, man. Let's go to Revelation chapter 4 real quick. Then I'm going to go to 2 Ezra, right? The Most High likes to be praised. He loves to be praised. Where in the scriptures does the Most High say, okay, ask me, keep asking me, keep asking me? Now, the Lord did say, ask me and you shall receive, Knock and it shall be open unto you. These things are written in Matthew the 7th chapter. The Lord said, ye have not because ye ask not, paraphrasing. That's in James the 4th chapter. So these things are mentioned. There's nothing wrong with making a petition or a supplication to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. If it's sincere. If you're just asking for carnal things and you're just complaining about materialistic folly things, now you're in a whole nother spirit, man. It's all right to complain about this captivity, You're going to be mad, man. That's part of the curses. That's Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 34. The Lord says, so shalt thou be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. So yeah, these things, we live in this system, we live in this world, you're going to be upset, man. But a lot of brothers, you complain about things that are just completely unnecessary, man. You're complaining about the car you drive. Hey, brother, you got a car, man. You're complaining because your outfit isn't like somebody else's, or they got this garment, or this brother knows this much, you only know this much, or this brother got this wife and you don't have a wife, or you only make this much money and this guy, he make this much money. Let's go to Revelation chapter 4 and 8. The Most High like to be praised. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about them, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come. And when those beasts give glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth forever and ever, The 420 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne, and worship him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory, see that, and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. Guess how often this happens? Every day. This is not a one-day thing, man. There's no one day where the Most High say, okay, today's the 7th day of the 7th month and the time of old. All of the angels, I need you to praise me. 420 elders, gather yourselves together. It's time to cast your crown. No, this thing happens all the time. Every day the Most High is being praised, man. By what? By the heavenly creatures. By the spirits on high. By the 420 elders, the 4 beasts, right? The seraphim, these creatures are praising the Most High, man. So what should we be doing? We should be praising the Most High. Now, we know we live in this real world. You gotta go to work, deal with your family, whatever. But hey, in your mind and in your prayers, you should be thanking the Most High, man. 24/7. A simple prayer, Thawadi, how about me? I was shot, for X, Y, and Z. And then, you keep it moving, man. Some of your prayers, you could just be thanking the Most High. And like we always say, there's no scripture on this, but this is me speaking as a man. A lot of prayers, you should be either kicking them off with, you repenting or you giving thanks to the Most High. That's how prayer should really be kicked off. A lot of brothers, they begin to just kick their prayers off with just complaining about their job, man, or complaining about, what another brother has, man, or not having a wife or kids or whatever. And, it can come off ungrateful, right? Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, right? Let's go to 2nd Ezra 8. See how much time. I got some time, so I'm going to try to go through these precepts, right? 2nd Ezra, chapter 8, Salakia. And I want to go to verse, I'm going to start at 59, right? Salakia. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 8 and 59. Actually, I'm going to start at 56. 2nd Ezra, chapter 8 and 56. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the law of the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous, and said in their heart, There is no God. Yea, and that knowing they must die. So there are people who are, they're atheists, they're Scientologists, they're agnostic, they don't believe in the Most High. There are people who live a life of Satanism or live a life of pride, and they don't acknowledge the Most High, and they're going out or they're coming in. And brothers in this truth, when they move like that, you're saying there is no God, man. Because the Most High, he's the one who's calling the shots. He's the one that's causing you to move, that's allowing you to wake up. And you don't got to wake up in the morning, man. We went into this before in a cold cut about watch what you say out of your mouth, man. And the Most High can kill you in your sleep, man. The Most High can have your damn car blow up on the road, have you swerve off a bridge, and have your woman go off, man, and commit all types of adultery and lewdness. Your kids can get sick, man. Your health could deteriorate. When you read the account, look at all of these men that the Most High has with these physical infirmities, man. And they still praise the Most High. You have men that were halt, blind, lame, women with issues of blood for 12 years, men that were lepers. You had all of these physical infirmities, man. And these men praise Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's a good precept the brother put. Right? HBK, come and see the works of the Most High. He is terrible in his doing toward the children of men. You see that? Right? So the Most High is terrible, man. He's a terror. It's like it in his works. So if you're not acknowledging the Most High, it says, yea, and that knowing they must die. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it was not his will that men should come to naught. Right? Because like it says, the Most High has no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his wicked ways, paraphrasing the book of Ezekiel. right? So the Most High, he don't get off on killing the righteous, man, or killing men. He's not some just God of just death and destruction, man. The Most High deals with mercy, long suffering, thanksgiving. He's slow to anger. Let's read on. Let me read this again, 59. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. But it was not his will that men should come to naught. But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. You see that? So the Most High says you have men defiling his name, huh? And they were what? And were unthankful unto him which prepared a life for them. Right? And that life is twofold. That life is you being on this earth with a, with a healthy heart and an active soul, but also you being in this truth, man. Because you were dead in your sins. Think about what the hell you was doing before this truth, man. How vain it was. But now you're in this thing, man. And we have no other option but to be praising Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua all day, every day, man. For even the small things. You being able to walk, think, you can see, smell, you have your senses, and you have understanding, man, like we went into. You're able to go to and fro safely. You don't even know how much work your angel is doing, man, because you have an angel protecting you. Let's get that in Psalms 34. You don't see all of the work. Your angel could be crushing and devastating demons, man. But you don't even know that. You don't know what commandment the Most High is giving these angels and what's going on behind the scenes. You're just looking at the surface level. There could have been all types of... You got nations throwing curses on you. You got people trying to put spells on you and witchcraft behind the scenes, the illuministic ones, and their sorcerers and the wise men. And there's so much demonic energy, for lack of better terms, that we deal with. But you don't even know how the Most High is protecting you from those spirits, man. You're just looking at carnal things. And that's why you're one of the unthankful ones. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 34 and verse 6. The poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. O taste and see that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. So you have angels around you, man. And no, they don't just... A lot of people think they talk about guardian angels when they may have almost got into a car accident, right? But they were able to pump their brakes right in time. Or, they was about to swerve off a bridge, but, they kind of landed right before they hit the cliff of the bridge, the edge of it. Those not the only times the guardian angel is protecting you, man. Like we said, even in the law, when you read the book of Numbers, the 22nd chapter, the 23rd chapter, the 24th chapter, you read about Balak, the king of Moab, and Balaam, who was hired to curse Israel, man. Do you think that just happened back then? No, the Lord said he requires that which is fast, man. You got people wishing death on you, man. You got people praying for you to be destroyed. You got people sending all types of spirits and trying to conjure up evil on you, man. And you're still alive in this thing, man. You're still in this truth. You're still doing the work. Why? Hey, because those curses could come to pass, man. The Most High could hear them spells and sorcery and curses and evil being sent out of wicked men's mouth, and it could get you, man. And it might be sent. But then the Lord got the angel right there, and you don't even see it. You're too busy complaining that you only make X amount of money, man. And meanwhile, while you're complaining about how much money you make, and you got a job, and you got shelter and food and raiment, while you're busy complaining about materialistic carnal things, your angel or angels, even a chariot, is waging war on your behalf, man. Right? They're waging war on your behalf. Let's go to Leviticus 22 and 29. Right? Let's go to the book of Leviticus. Let's get this in the law. So we have to push ourselves as servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to be more thankful, to praise the Most High more, man. To say, call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai more and more, man. To call upon his name more, to thank him more. To be more content, to be more grateful, man. That's part of this truth too, man. This truth is not just getting on Esau and him bowing down, man. This truth is not just about condemning the world. Now that plays a major role in it, because Yahweh Shah did it. He testified that the works thereof are evil, which we will do. We have no problem doing. But this truth is manifold. Leviticus chapter 22 and 29. So here's the law, right? And when ye will offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto the Lord, offer it at your own will. So this thing got to be in you, man. Right? This thing got to be in you. You're not commanded to do this offering. There are certain offerings where you are commanded to, man, to do. You got to go to Jerusalem 3 times a year for the Feast of Weeks, Feast of Unleavened Bread, Feast of Tabernacles, and bring these things to the Lord. And you had, if you were unclean and you were a woman and you had a man-child, you had to bring this to the Lord. If you were a man and you were a leper and you were cleansed, you have to bring. So you had certain offerings that were mandatory. It wasn't optional. This thing, it got to be in you to do it, because you're not commanded to do it, but you have to have the zeal and the faith and the love of the Most High to do this thing. That's why it says, and when ye will offer offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving. And this is just to praise the Most High. Because remember in the law, the Lord likes a sweet savor. That's what the Most High likes, man. The burnt offerings are a sweet savor unto the Most High. So you might just want to bring an offering to the Most High, man. You might have had cattle or livestock, and look, I'm going to just go give this to the Most High. I'm going to just give thanks to the Lord. Yeah, I didn't sin. Not unclean. I wasn't a leper. I'm not under this particular ordinance, but this is in my heart to do so. And that's a spirit that we have to have. A lot of brothers, you don't even want to get down and just thank the Most High. It's not in you, man. And if that spirit is not in you, you need to work on that, man, and drive that out. Let me read this one more time. And when ye will offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto the Lord, here's the point. Offer it at your own will. And who's going to offer it at their own will? The men that truly serve the Most High. Who's not going to do it at their own will? The men who don't take the Most High serious, man. They think this is a game and they deserve to be in this truth, and they're owed something. And I'm going to tell you something. You're not owed anything by the Most High. Not me or you, whether you've been in this thing 56 years or 6 years or 5 years or 3 minutes. The Most High don't owe you any damn thing, man. Who is man? Let's go to Job. Hey, the Most High can cut us all down right now, man. The Most High can cut us all down right now. Why? Because we drink iniquity like water. Because we go off. Right? Let's read that real quick. Job chapter 15 and verse 14. Right? What is man that he should be clean? And he which is born of a woman that he should be righteous. So who the hell is man? We all go off. And if you say you don't go off, then you're a damn liar. Behold, he putteth no trust in his saints. Yea, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water. See that? So the Most High say man drinks iniquity like water. Now, if you drink iniquity like water, that means, hey, we deserve death. But the Most High has mercy on us, man, to keep us alive. Let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 7. The only reason you're able to tune into this live, and I'm able to do this live, and we're able to eat and drink, and it's because of it's the gift of the Lord, man. Let me get them. I'm thinking of a good amount of precepts. Let me get these real quick. See how much time I got. Okay, let me get Ecclesiastes. Right? I believe I want the 11th chapter. Right? Ecclesiastes. It'll be 9. Salakia. All right, Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Bear with me. I want to get this precept. Maybe 2. All right. If I can't get it, I'm going to go back to 2nd Ezra's. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 2. And I'm going to start at 24. I'm going to start at 22. Right, Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and 22. For what hath man of all his labor, and of the vexation of his heart, wherein he hath labored under the sun? For all his days are sorrows, and his travail, grief. Yea, his heart taketh no rest in the night. This is also vanity. Yeah, because we live a stressed life, man. You got nightmares and, you know, like I always say, man, I be having dreams about being on a plantation. Just when you get off the plantation, you're tired, you got to work, you may have a family, and you got to do the work of the Most High, and you think you can get some rest, but you don't even get no rest that night, man. Because your dreams are about doing what you got to do the next morning, man. So you're working in your sleep. Then you got to get up and go do it on a real life level, man. So you don't really get no rest here, man. Your back might hurt. You know, you might have some pain, and, you know, you get a knee ache out of nowhere, or a fever, and you're sick. So you don't get no rest, man. So here's what the Most High say. How to deal with that. You got to offset that. It says, there is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink. So you got to force yourself through the Spirit, man, to kind of relieve yourself of this travail and grief. But it says there is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw, that it was from the hand of the Most High. So being able to eat, being able to drink, being able to have a sense of joy, being able to labor and reap the benefits of your labor, getting your paycheck, man. You know, being excited when you learn something new in the scriptures. All joy, vexate, all of these things is what? This also I saw, that it was from the hand of the Most High. You see that? So you got to thank Yahweh Ba'ashmi Yahushai, man. Because he's the one that's allowing you to prosper. If you're prospering, he's the one that brings adversity, man. And don't just thank the Most High when things are going well. You got to thank the Most High when things ain't going well, man. Right? Let's go to Sirach, the 27th chapter. A lot of brothers, you just thank Yahweh Ba'ashmi Yahushai when things go well in your favor. But when SHIT hit the fan, you damn near become reprobate, man. Oh, Lord, why would you do this? Oh, Lord, please. Oh, my God, Lord. I thought you chose me. I thought I was an Israelite. Well, brother, you still got to give thanks to the Most High, even in adversity. Right? Let's get this precept in Ecclesiastes, chapter 27, right? And verse, I'm going to start at 5. I'm going to start at 4. As when one sifteth with the sieve, the refuse remaineth, so the filth of man and his talk. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel, so the trial of man is his reasoning. You see that? So the Most High could put you on trial. The Most High could put you in a particular test and have things be adverse for you, man. And things may not always go in your favor. But that's the trial of man. The Most High is going to see, how do you reason in these situations? Are you still going to thank the Most High? What's your reasoning when things don't go your way? What's your reasoning? What do you think about when your car breaks down? And when your children and your women rise up against you? And when your health deteriorates? When you get fired from your so-called job, man? You know, when you're stressed out and you're overwhelmed? Where's your mind at? Where's your reasoning at? Are you still praising the Most High? Hey, Thawadi Yahweh Ba'ashmi Yahushai, Thawadi for the furnace of affliction. Thawadi Yahweh Ba'ashmi Yahushai for trying me like gold is tried in the fire. May you allow me to endure. Thawadi Yahweh Ba'ashmi Yahushai for pain and suffering. I know that these are the fruits of the Spirit. You know, these are the things you got to thank the Most High for, man. For choosing you to catch hell. Hey, it's a beautiful thing to catch hell in this thing, man. I'd rather catch hell in this truth than catch hell in the world. You know? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 48. Right? Thank the Most High One when you're going through hell too, man. Isaiah chapter 48. I'm going to have to get a few more and I'm going to have to wind down. Right? Isaiah chapter 48, one of my favorite scriptures in Isaiah. Chapter 48 and verse 10. Right? Isaiah 48 and 10. I'm going to start at 9. For my name's sake, I will defer my anger. For my praise will I refrain from thee, that I cut thee not off. See, that's deep. When you read this chapter, this is a deep chapter. Right? This is deep. Listen to verse 8. Yea, thou heardest not. Yea, thou knewest not. Yea, from the time that thine ear was not open. For I knew, you know what? I'm going to read verse. Let's see. I'm going to start at 7. So here's the Most High getting on Israel, right? For praising idols and doing God knows what, right? Isaiah 48 and 7. They are created now, but not from the beginning. Even before the day when thou heardest them not, lest thou shouldest say, behold, I knew them. Meaning what? The Most High put prophecies before of old and did it so far back in time that when it came to pass, you had no other choice but to give credit to the Most High. You know, so now like these earthquakes and, World War III, a lot of people will give credit to false gods and say, my God told me that this will happen. My 4-leaf clover, my rabbit's foot. And you can't say that though, because the Most High, he been said these things were going to happen. So the Lord had to do that so he could pretty much clear his name. So now people can't give credit to idols and false gods about what's happening on the earth, man. Because man would do that. The Lord know you Negroes, man. Every time something happens, you want to glorify something other than Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Right? Let's read on. Verse 8. Yea, thou heardest not. Yea, thou knewest not. Yea, from the time that thine ear was not open. For I knew that thou wouldest deal very treacherously, and was called a transgressor from the womb. So we were called transgressors from the womb. But here's what the Most High said. For my name's sake will I defer mine anger. And you never know, man, how much iniquity or evil words we have spoken, or pride we may have moved in, or unthankfulness that you may have shown, or hatred, or reveling, or madness, or folly, or vanity, when the Most High looked at you and just deferred his anger. You never know how close you are to death in this thing, man. Read the book of Numbers, the 22nd chapter. Read about Balaam on his way, man, to take reward. You had a death angel waiting in the way with the sword to cut him down. Do you think that only happened to that man? You never know how close you are unto death, man. And how nigh these spirits are to you, man. And the Lord said, okay, look, I'm going to spare that man. Come back up here. When you read 2 Samuel, the 24th chapter, you had a death angel that was sent to destroy Jerusalem. And nobody really saw it but David. I believe his men saw it too. But these people that was getting killed by this death angel in 2 Samuel 24, they didn't know that, man. They didn't know what was going to go down. So you never know how close these death angels are to you, man. And how the Most High can defer his anger and spare you. How much more, man, should we be giving thanks to the Most High when we know things like that? So it reads, for my name's sake will I defer mine anger, and for my praise will I refrain thee, that I cut thee not off. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. See, that's so the Most High chose us in the furnace of affliction. So when even things aren't going your way, it's like, and you're dealing with adversity and problems and stress, you're dealing with anxiety and worries of this life, and you still praise the Most High, man. You got to fight that spirit. Only the flesh and these demons aren't going to allow you to praise the Most High. Right? You had the man in the book of Mark. I'm going to have to get the precept, But you had men that tried to tell him to hold his peace, man. When Yahweh Shah and the apostle walked by and said, oh, son of David, have mercy upon me, man. And you had men around him that said, hold your peace, shut the hell up. Stop calling upon the Most High. And it says he cried out the more, man. And it says the Lord heard him. You know, so you're going to have these spirits to try to stop you from praising the Most High, man. Demons, the flesh, stress. Those are just spirits. Laziness. You got to fight them demons, man. Let's go to the book of Luke. Let me get about maybe 3 more. Right, let's go to St. Luke, the 3rd chapter. Right, get a quick precept on this. Right, this is dealing with Jake, you know, on a financial level. St. Luke chapter 3 and 14. So here's the people that came to John the Baptist, right? So you had Israelite soldiers that came to him. Yes, you had Israelite soldiers, just like now, in a Roman army. And the soldiers likewise demanded of him, saying, and what shall we do? So they asked John the Baptist, what can we do? Or what should we do, rather? And he said unto them, do violence to no man, not like those 5 Jake cops, man. Right? Do violence to no man, neither accuse any falsely, and be content with your wages. See that? And even a lot of brothers, you aren't even content, man. I gotta have more. Gotta have this. They make this much. I want that. They drive this. I want to drive that. They have these clothes and this food and they get to do this and I don't have this. And the Lord said, rather little or great, man. The Most High even said, having food and raiment, let us therewith be content. In 1 Timothy chapter 6 and 8. So as long as you got food and raiment, and the Lord said, be content, man. You know? As long as you got, even in Ecclesiasticus, the 29th chapter, 22 on down, if I'm not mistaken, the Lord speaks about the principal things of man's life, man. Iron and water and salt and bread and clothing and the blood of the grape. And these things you need to survive, man. And you have more than a lot of people have on the earth, man. You got this truth. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 13 and 5. So we got to do our due diligence to laud and praise Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah more, man. Throughout your prayers, challenge yourself to praise and give thanks to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah more, man. And stop looking at the Most High like a genie all the time, man. Right? The book of Hebrews. Hey, I tell you what, on a carnal level, not that we have the mind of the Lord, but if you constantly gave somebody something and they never gave you thanks, and all they did was kept asking for something, eventually, man, you know, as man, you might be less inclined to keep giving this person something, man. You might start cutting them off. You know, you might stop really dealing with them, man. They seem ungrateful. They keep asking. They never said thanks, and they never said the water. You know, even though it's all praise to the Most High, but just, you know, we're in this flesh, man. You know, you got emotions, you know. So if somebody's constantly, I need this, let me get that, and they never say the water. Hey, guess what? You're not going to deal with that person no more, man. And that's man. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. So the Most High is never going to leave you. He's never going to forsake you, even if you have a little, man. Even if you're poor. The Lord said, blessed are the poor, because you're rich in faith in James 2 and 5. Paraphrasing that extremely greatly, man. So the Lord said, don't have a covetous conversation. You're always talking about money and getting paid and more that you want out of life on a materialistic level. You know, even certain brothers, you're always, I need more wisdom. Give me more of this. I want this. And there's nothing wrong with asking for wisdom. But brother, you got to be content with the Most High gave you, man. How come this brother knows all this? Lord, make me like him. That's off, man. It's off. Lord, this guy knows all the in-depth breakdowns. Give me them now. I said now, Lord. Hey, that brother's going to be destroyed, man. It reads, let your conversation be without covetousness and be content. And this is a covetous kingdom, man. This is a real covetous kingdom. For he had said, it's like you, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee, man. Right? Let's go to Philippians chapter 4. Right? Philippians chapter 4 and verse 11. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. So rather you have a lot, be content. Rather you have a little. Rather your health is kind of okay, or you got a fever, or you feel good. You got brothers that are healthy. If I want to feel better, I want to be stronger, I want to be faster. Lord, make me strong like this, man. Make me faster. Give me more agility. Right? Give me more dexterity. Rather you have great or little, man. Whatever state you're in, be content. If you got a 1-bedroom, hey, be content, man. It's okay to work and get yourself out of a situation. There's no sin in that. You work, you may pick up, extra shift, or, you might put in an application for a higher paying job, and, there's nothing wrong with that. So don't be simple, but also, be content in this thing, man. For I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things, I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengtheneth me. See that? So we can do all things. We can overcome all things. We can overcome pain, stress, these demons, the world, carnally, financial situations, health situations. We're going to be content because we can overcome these things and deal with it because we have Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, man. So the topic of this cold cut is what? How often do you do this? How often do you say, call Allah Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai throughout the day? How often do you say all praise to Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, man? The water Most High, Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, for allowing me to go to and fro safely throughout the day. Allowing my health to be where it is. Allowing me to have vision and sight and smell and touch and be able to pray and call upon your name and know your name. To be given a law, to have some level of faith. These are the things that we have to do that's pleasing to Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, man. The Lord said, "O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us, man." And this should be sincerely in you, man. But with that, I'm going to close up, giving, of course, all honor and glory to Yahweh. Bashma Mashiach Kwam Lak Yahushai. Kwam Yashal. Shalom.